Hello, beautiful people. I'm so glad you're here with me today because what we're about to talk about is something every single one of us experiences, no matter who we are or where we come from. We've all felt it, the sting of a door slamming in our face, the weight of a setback that feels final. Maybe it was a job you didn't get, a relationship that ended, or a dream that seemed to slip through your fingers. In those moments, it's easy to believe that failure is the end of the road, but here's the truth. A setback is not the end of your story. It's a plot twist, a new chapter waiting to be written. Sometimes the most powerful stories are the ones that take an unexpected turn. Every person you admire has failed. Oprah was told she wasn't fit for television. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. Steve Jobs was fired from his own company. Their journeys weren't smooth or easy. Their paths were messy, full of detours, wrong turns, and moments of doubt. But those detours didn't stop them. They shaped them. What sets them apart? They look for the lesson in every fall. Instead of letting failure define them, they ask, what can I learn from this? How can I grow? A stumble isn't just a fall, it's a new perspective. When you're down, you see things you might have missed before. Sometimes, it's only after we fall that we notice a new path or opportunity. Think about your own life. Remember a time you failed. What did you learn? Maybe you studied harder, practiced more, or realized you needed to change direction. Maybe you discovered a strength you never knew you had. Or perhaps you discovered what you truly value, what really matters to you. Sometimes failure strips away the noise and reveals your deepest priorities. These moments, as painful as they are, build your character and resilience. Like a plant pushing through the soil, you grow stronger with every challenge you face. Your setback is training ground for your greatest strength. Every time you get back up, you're building the muscles of perseverance and courage. As we begin this journey together, let go of shame. Release the idea that you have to be perfect or never make mistakes. Growth comes from embracing your imperfections. We'll explore epic comebacks and see how the lowest valleys lead to the highest peaks. The climb may be tough, but the view from the top is worth every struggle. My hope is that you'll see your own story reflected in these legends, that you'll realize you're not alone and that your setbacks are part of something bigger. The thing holding you back right now? It might be the rocket fuel for your greatest leap. Sometimes the very thing you fear is what will launch you forward. Let's discover the gift in every stumble. Your comeback starts now. Together, let's turn every fall into a step toward greatness. And remember, the journey is just as important as the destination. Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in prison, an abyss meant to break him. But inside those walls, Mandela transformed pain into power. He studied, debated, and learned the language of his oppressors, not to surrender, but to understand and reconcile. Prison became his university. Isolation became introspection. He prepared himself to lead, forging a philosophy of forgiveness. When freedom came, he emerged not with vengeance, but with peace. His years in prison became the foundation for a nation's rebirth. Mandela's comeback wasn't just personal, it was a beacon for the world. He showed us that no wall can contain a determined spirit. Even the darkest night gives way to dawn. His story is proof setbacks can forge the leaders we need. The world saw a prisoner, history remembers a president. Imagine pouring your heart and soul into building your dream company, working late nights, sketching out ideas, and rallying a team around a vision that feels bigger than yourself. Every decision, every risk, every sleepless night is for something you believe in. Now imagine reaching the top, only to be told you're no longer wanted. At just 30 years old, you're forced to pack your things and walk away from the very future you created. That's exactly what happened to Steve Jobs. He was ousted from Apple, the company he started in his parents' garage, the company that bore his vision and energy. For many, such a public and painful failure would have been the end. But for Jobs, it was a turning point. Instead of letting it break him, it set him free to explore new possibilities. Jobs didn't disappear. He started Next, a bold new computer company, and took a leap into animation by buying Pixar. Yes, the same Pixar that would later create Toy Story and revolutionize animated films. During these years, Jobs rediscovered his passion for innovation. He learned, experimented, and grew in ways he never could have if he'd stayed at Apple. Looking back, Jobs often said that failure was his greatest teacher. It forced him to rethink, to adapt, and to find new inspiration. When Apple called him back years later, he didn't just return as the same person. He came back wiser, with a fresh vision and groundbreaking technology that would change everything. The result? A wave of innovation. The colorful iMac, the revolutionary iPod, the world-changing iPhone, and the game-changing iPad. These weren't just products. They became cultural icons, transforming how we communicate, work, and play. They changed the world and touched millions of lives. Steve Jobs' story is a powerful reminder. Sometimes being forced off your path is the only way to discover a better one. The detour you never wanted might lead to your greatest achievements. Setbacks aren't the end. They can be the spark that ignites your most creative chapter. When one door closes, another opens, often to places you never imagined. Don't fear being cast out or rejected. Embrace the freedom that comes with starting over. Reinvention is where true growth happens. The world's greatest comebacks, whether in business, sports, or life, are born from the ashes of failure. It's in those moments of loss that resilience and creativity shine brightest. Jobs didn't just return to Apple, he transformed it, and in doing so, transformed the world of technology forever. Remember, your next act could be your greatest. The journey doesn't end with a setback, it begins anew, full of possibility. Let your setback fuel your reinvention. Use it as a launchpad to dream bigger, work smarter, and create something extraordinary. The future you build after failure might just change the world, just like Steve Jobs did. Walt Disney faced bankruptcy, betrayal, and was told he lacked imagination. His first studio failed. He lost his first hit character. On a train ride home, at his lowest, he sketched a mouse, Mickey. Even then, he faced rejection. Distributors called his ideas silly, but Disney believed in his vision, risking everything to bring Mickey to life. That risk paid off, launching a global empire. Snow White, called Disney's folly, became a triumph. Disney's career was a series of comebacks, each fueled by relentless belief. The world's resistance didn't stop him, it inspired him. Your greatest ideas may face the greatest resistance. Don't let others' lack of imagination limit yours. Every setback is a setup for something magical. Keep sketching your dreams, even in the darkest moments. Elon Musk's early SpaceX rockets exploded. 3 failures, millions lost, ridicule everywhere. He had one launch left before losing everything. Most would quit, but Musk and his team learned from every failure. They saw each explosion as a lesson, not an end. On the 4th try, the rocket soared, making history. That success saved SpaceX and Tesla, and changed space exploration forever. Musk's story proves failure is tuition for greatness. When you're doing something revolutionary, setbacks are part of the process. Don't fear your dreams exploding. Learn, adapt, and try again. Perseverance turns disaster into destiny. The world's boldest dreams require the world's toughest resilience. Your breakthrough might be one more try away. Let failure teach you, not stop you. Every explosion is a step closer to orbit. The future belongs to those who refuse to quit. Keep reaching for the stars. My own journey began in poverty and hardship. I was born in rural Mississippi, where opportunity was scarce and hope sometimes felt like a distant dream. My family struggled to make ends meet, and I often wondered if life would ever be different for me. But even as a little girl, I held on to a quiet belief that I was meant for something more. I dreamed of being a news anchor, picturing myself telling stories that mattered. But when I finally got my chance, I was told I was too emotional, that my feelings didn't belong in the newsroom. It stung deeply, making me question if I was cut out for this world. Demoted to a little-watched talk show, I felt humiliated and defeated. It seemed like my career was over before it had even begun. I remember sitting alone on that quiet set, wondering if anyone would ever care about what I had to say. But that failure let me be myself, emotional, connected, real. For the first time, I could speak from the heart, share my truth, and connect with people on a deeper level. I realized that my so-called weakness was actually my greatest strength. What made me a bad anchor made me a great host. My empathy, my ability to listen and feel, became the foundation of my success. Audiences responded to authenticity, not perfection. That show's success led to the Oprah Winfrey Show, a platform that changed not just my life, but the lives of millions. It became a place where real stories were told and real people were seen. My greatest setback became my greatest opportunity. What once felt like the end was actually a new beginning, a chance to redefine myself and my purpose. Being fired forced me onto a path true to who I am. It taught me that rejection isn't the end of the road. it's often a sign you're being redirected to something better. I learned to trust my voice and instincts, to listen to that inner wisdom that guides us all. Every challenge became a lesson, every obstacle a stepping stone. Setbacks aren't just obstacles, they're redirections. They push us to grow, to adapt, and to discover strengths we never knew we had. I've lived this truth. Your weakness can become your superpower. The very thing you think holds you back might be the key to your greatest success. Don't fear detours. They may lead to your destiny. Sometimes the path you didn't plan is the one that takes you exactly where you're meant to go. Every closed door is a chance to find a better one. When one opportunity ends, another, often greater, is waiting just around the corner. Your story is shaped by how you rise after falling. It's not the setbacks that define you, but the courage to stand up and keep moving forward. I'm proof that setbacks can launch you higher than you ever imagined. Every award, every milestone is a reminder of how far you can go when you refuse to give up. Embrace your journey, every twist and turn. Trust that even the hardest moments are shaping you for something extraordinary. J.K. Rowling was a single mother on welfare, rejected by 12 publishers. She believed in her story, even when no one else did. Rock bottom became her foundation. She kept sending out her manuscript, holding on to hope. One small publisher finally said yes, because a child loved her story. From a dozen no's, a global phenomenon was born. Rowling's comeback teaches us, rejection is just an opinion, not a verdict. Perseverance is believing in your vision, even when the world doubts. Don't let rejection silence your magic. Keep going until you find your yes. Sometimes all it takes is one believer. What do these stories teach us? 3 truths stand out. First, failure is a stepping stone, not the opposite of success. Every legend, Musk, Disney, Jobs, embraced failure as a teacher. Mistakes provide the data you need to grow. Second, perseverance is the engine of every comeback. Legends refuse to quit even when quitting seemed logical. Perseverance isn't grand gestures, it's daily stubborn effort. Third, setbacks are opportunities in disguise. Ask not why me, but what can I learn? Setbacks force you to pause, get creative, and find new paths. Sometimes they reveal strengths you never knew you had. Your obstacle is not in the way, it is the way. Embrace failure, persist, and look for the lesson. That's the roadmap to your own epic comeback. The fire of adversity forges greatness. As we close, remember, these stories aren't fairy tales. They prove what's possible when you refuse to be defeated. Growth is born from struggle. Pressure creates diamonds. Your story isn't over, it's just beginning. You'll face setbacks and doubt, but you're not alone. Remember Mandela, Jobs, Rowling? Let their stories inspire you. Embrace your stumbles, let them teach you. Rise up stronger, wiser, and more determined. Persevere, your dream is worth it. Look for the opportunity in every adversity. Trust that the universe is guiding you, even in hardship. The comeback is always greater than the setback. Your life is an epic tale waiting to unfold. Believe in your story and know the best is yet to come. Go out and write your next chapter. I can't wait to see it.